Thank you for letting me show you my history lab. Let's start with the Getting Started button here. You want to make sure that you tune up your browser and have all the plugins and to make sure that the app runs, all the apps on the side run correctly. If you are in this central time zone, you want to make sure that you set the time zone best, so the default is the Eastern time zone. And then here, you're never at a loss of how to use my history lab, because there are user guides right here. You can post your syllabus here, and notifications as well would appear underneath these two tabs. And then also there is a link for customer support. So let's get into the features of my history lab. First of all, the e-text and chapter audio. The e-text is the mirror image of the print book. The students can actually search it, they can highlight it, and take notes in it. In addition to this, there is also chapter audio. They can listen to the text. So this really helps for some students to read and listen for helping them to absorb the material. And they can download all this on their with the Pearson eText reader and kind of have it follow them wherever they go. The assignment calendar. The assignment calendar is going to be where the student's going to go to see what they need to do before they come to class. And you need, as we discussed, you're going to make my history lab count for 10% of the participation grade. So not only are they coming to class, but they're going to get points for, you're going to give them 10% of the grade for using my history lab and doing the assignments, or up to 10% depending on how well they do, I guess I should say. But see, you can see here, next week on the 12th, they have something due, and so they would just click here, and they're going to see that they need to read, watch the video, and take the quiz or quizzes underneath this section before they come to the class next week on the 12th. And this student has not got started yet, probably because they're still working in this week. In addition to this, there is a study plan here and course content that you can also assign. And you can see, once this opens up, how much time the students actually spent on the activity, how many times they've attempted it. The students can also see the progress or the status over here in the right-hand column, whether or not it's been viewed or completed. Let's go to chapter 7. I believe this is. So they have not viewed the e-text, they have not begun the study plan, or taken the practice chapter 7 exam. So these are all tools to help your students learn outside of the classroom, because they're going to be using this in addition to the notes they've taken to the class to prepare for your test, and really to absorb the material and not just learn it, but absorb it and take it with them after this semester is over. And that is the goal of this course, correct? One of the other features in my history lab is the closer look tour, and this is a place that you can use it two different ways. You can assign these, or you can actually pull these up in class, because these are going to be nice little ways for your students to analyze sources, maps, or kind of have walkthroughs of maps and images and primary sources, and giving them the detail to cover to find their meaning. So here's chapter 7 to give you an example of how this works. You'll see 3 tabs up here, and it's going to start playing as soon as this opens, so I don't want to talk over it. But there's going to be an overview, and then if it plays, there we go. And then the closer look is going to give
order, harmony, and stability throughout the Middle Kingdom were the expectations of every emperor. It was the emperor who symbolized.
So you can see how
this segment shows the number of officials an emperor received on a daily.
And then, so there's 3 tabs.
How does this rubbing demonstrate the Chinese emphasis on order, harmony, and stability?
And that's the closer look. So these are great. You could use these as lecture launchers, or you could actually just use these to assign. The next feature is the writing space, and this is something that is new to Pearson within the last year, and this was designed to give the students low-stakes writing practice and help them develop more critical thinking skills. In the world history, we have 5 writing prompts, and these are auto-graded. There's been at least 400 students who have participated and taken and written these assignments, and they've been graded by numerous different instructors across the country, and we fed it into an intelligent essay grader so that you can have your students write. So if you have 100 students in your course, you don't have time to have them write and read 400 writings 5 times, throughout the semester. So this is a good way for you to give your students some practice writing. And let me show you how it works. And you can also create your own, but for the writing prompts, there are actually a rubric, a common rubric, but you can create your own rubric in the instructor created. But this is to show you how it's going to look. This here's one that has been graded. The students received an 80, and it shows you the feedback. So actually, maybe she didn't do that well because she got, her development of ideas only 13%, the organization's 3%, and so forth. The rubric grade is 27, so you might want to adjust that down more closely aligned to that. So if you agree with that, then you would give her a 27 there as well and save the grade. But you can adjust it either way. If you didn't agree with this, if you thought that this did not grade correctly, then you could adjust it up to the 80%. And here's where you would create, you can create 5 of your own here. And it won't auto grade them, but it will provide consistency in grading if you design a coordinator course and then give it down to the other sections. It will have consistency across the sections in the history course so that you can see the student's success in their writing and so forth. And then there's a number of student resources as well for the students to utilize. One of the favorite ones is actually the flashcards, and they can download these to the phone. They're adaptive. There's speed drills for them to learn. They really like these just to study. It's a quick way to study for them, and it's on kind of something that's kind of on the go. My search lab is going to give them tools for writing and research if you're going to have them write more than just in the writing space. There's a history bookshelf with 100 of the most commonly assigned readings in world history. They're going to be PDFs, and you can assign these. You can choose your favorites and assign them as needed. So, and then they can analyze primary sources and have access to all the chapter audio and videos here. Now let's get into the meat of it. That is how you assign it for your students to use to help them get hopefully the full 10% participation grade through my history lab. This is where you would go to the instructor grades and assignments to assign the content, and you'll see here you've got your managed course materials, your grade book. You can view and generate reports here. We noted the notifications at the top of the page up here, and then you can create tests and so forth here. But let's go to the assigned content for now. And remember, when we clicked on the assignment calendar, we saw that there was already something that was due for November the 12th. So how did that get there? Well, these are all the chapters here throughout the book. So you click, if that was chapter 7, then you would go, the next one obviously is going to be chapter 8 that you're covering. If you're following them in order, you expand it, and if you want them to complete the study plan and read the e-text before they go to class, then you would just drag and drop, because they're going to do that for Thursday's class. And then you see the alarm clocks here, and you know that that has actually been set. So let me point out this tab here, the Today's View. This is going to give you your notifications for key events in the course. If there's some new grades, if there's idle students that haven't been on, you'll be alerted here. If there's an instructor grading, you'll see that here. And then you can also see course performance and overall student performance through here. You can create your test by going to the My Test. And you see you got your questions folder here, and you just click Create New Test and start there. So in a nutshell, that is my history lab. So thank you for agreeing to assign it and make it 10% of your students' grade, and I look forward to watching the success of your students next semester. Please let me know if you have any questions, and just know if you need any help support, there's also a help support tab here, and you can change your account settings here as well. So thank you so much for your time.